welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? We have Jim Clark, the best racing driver of all time, apparently. So we are finna see what he's talking about. The only thing I know is that he's Scottish. I don't really know what he raced on. I'm guessing he did IndyCar, F1, whatever. So I'm guessing he did that. Again, appreciate the love and support you guys have shown with these videos, man. Like I said, if I forgot any videos you guys want me to react to, I don't really care if you guys, spam it every video. But like I said, if I have forgotten any videos, just let me know. Just put it in the comment section. Hey Chaz, can you still react to this? I can get to that. I have a lot that I need to catch up on, so I have seen a lot of you guys video requests. I'm trying to catch up on them. But like I said, if I forgot any, just let me know. Jim Clark, the best racing driver of all time. Let's go and get started. Let's go and see what he's talking about. Don't forget to like the video and sub. Join the crew. Join the gang. Let's get started.
Jim Clark has died in an accident during a Formula 2 race in West Germany.
Oh, he died in an auto accident. Damn, 8 seconds in, Chaz. Why do I always pause 10 seconds in? Jesus.
Because this shy, modest man,
That's a tough way to die,
sheep
though.
farmer, was never one to trumpet his own skills.
I started as an amateur with no idea or no intention of becoming world champion, but I was curious to find out what it was like to drive a car fast, to drive on a certain circuit, to drive a certain type of car.
Clark's speed and talent was spotted by Lotus boss Colin Chapman. Clark soon set the motorsport world alight.
And back in the day, F1 cars.
He won his first F1 World Championship.
Oh my God! I am sitting where Jim Clark sat!
That's a classic.
This is electrifying!
That's a classic.
These were not powerful cars! They only made 210 brake horsepower for 1.5 litres, but they were still good for 180 miles an hour!
That's still pretty fast back then.
Thanks to its revolutionary monocoque chassis, the 25 was stiffer and lighter than any other F1 car, which meant it wasn't just fast on the straights, but quicker through the corners too. And in the 1963 season, Clark used it to win a record 7 out of the 10 Grand Prix.
Damn.
Winner is Jim Clark. Nobody could possibly catch him now.
But 1963 was just a warm-up for what was to come.
7
To
out
get
of
a
10
true
races he
picture of
won.
Clark's
That's
genius,
pretty
we
impressive.
must look at another year.
That's very impressive.
1965, when he hit heights no driver had reached before, or has done since. A modern Formula One driver does 21 races a year, and often complains that's too many. In 1965, Jim Clark raced in 63 races. Some of these cars look similar, but they are all completely different. In a car like this, he'd do Formula One Championship. He raced in the British Formula 2 Championship and the French Formula 2 Championship in this car. He raced in the Tasman Series, a sort of Australian Grand Prix for Down Under, in this car. And then there's this Lotus Cortina, in which he decided to race in touring cars. And then if all that...
What the hell? He was driving a truck? He was driving an SUV? I mean, I know it was an SUV, guys.
First up was the Tasman Series in Australia.
So he had 3 different cars for 3 different... He had a car for the French, British, and I forgot the other one. Then he had that car, truck, whatever that shit is. Pretty impressive. Early on, very, very impressed by Jim Clark. That's still crazy to me with 7 out of 10 races.
Out of the 15 races, Clark won 11 and took the crown.
Dude's a winner. Dude's a
Then
winner.
it was back to Europe for the British and French Formula 2 championships, both of which he won.
Jim Clark led from the start. Winner
Dude's
is
a
Jim
winner.
Clark.
And in between
I'm in the middle of the
these 2
street.
races, he was jumping into
Like
his
a freaking
Lotus
cheerleader.
Cortina and racking up touring car victories.
Oh, he driving that bad boy.
Before that, there was America.
Indianapolis.
The Indianapolis 500 has been called the greatest spectacle in racing.
America's most prestigious race would be a tough challenge. Oval racing at higher average speeds than he was used to against seasoned Indy veterans. For the Indy 500, Clark raced a specially developed Lotus producing just shy of 500 horsepower. However, although he already had a Formula One world title to his name, the Scotsman's CV cut no ice with the sniffy Indy officials, who made the upstart from across the pond take a rookie driving test before he could compete.
That's stupid. Why?
Come Indy weekend, the upstart from across the pond qualified on the front row. And then, in the race itself, Clark, up against America's finest oval racers, won by just over 2 minutes.
Impressive. So they made my man do like a rookie tryout damn near just for him to go on and win the race. Dude's a winner. Dude's a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Jim Clark, first European to win at Indianapolis since 1916, set a new record of 150.686 miles per hour.
So what was it that made Clark so good? What was it that made him capable of winning in any type of car?
Jimmy was an absolute natural driver, and he did it without thinking. He didn't know why he was driving in this style the way he did. In the period that we're talking about, we had 1.5 litre cars, 200 horsepower. If you drove the car too hard, you would scrub the speed off. And if you lose a bit of speed, it's very difficult to actually make it up again. And that's what Jimmy had the knack of, keeping the momentum of the car going. I don't think that any of the modern drivers could have driven the car.
He knew his car
near
though.
as quickly as Jimmy did.
Yeah.
Because he was just so precise.
Facts. He just knew how to keep the car, you know,
Besides
settled,
a
driving
supernatural
good.
ability to
That's
cut
what's up.
speed out of the car, Clark also possessed another vital skill.
A lot of very good racing
X-ray
drivers
vision.
died in Lotuses because the Lotus was a very fragile car. But Jim Clark was so smooth that he never put too much stress on the areas of a car that would give up.
After the race, when you stripped his car down and you stripped his co-driver's car down, you could always tell which parts came off Jimmy's car and which parts came off the other driver's car, because the parts of Jimmy's car were more or less pristine.
But don't think for a minute that Clark was one of those drivers that could only win in a perfect car. One year at Spa, for example, he was leading the race when his gearbox started to let go.
Oh, jeez.
Did he give up? Nope. Instead, he drove the rest of the race, and we're talking 160 miles an hour in the wet, with one hand on the steering wheel and the other holding the gear lever in place.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's
And he
crazy.
still won by nearly 5 minutes.
That's incredible.
As the 1965 season rolled on, Clark, having won both Formula 2 championships, the Tasman Series, and the Indy 500,
Dude's a winner.
now faced one remaining challenge. The biggest challenge, the Formula One world title. At the season's opening race in South Africa, up against such legends as Jack Brabham, Graham Hill, and reigning world champion John Surtees, Clark won by half a minute, and did so while suffering from a slipped disc. Next up was Spa, and then the French Grand Prix. both of which he also won.
Of course.
Next
Dude's a
up
winner.
was Silverstone.
Dude is a
And here
winner.
it looked like business as usual, with Clark leading the pack.
That's still crazy, man, how he's able to drive like 150 miles per hour plus with one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the gear, whatever, and still manages to win. I would have. I don't care. I probably crashed. I probably crashed. You know, I'm trying to driving fast as hell, doing that's his skill set already is unmatchable. Like he was born to race, and like some of the stuff we already reacted to, seen. Oh my gosh, he's different. He's different. He's different. He's different.
However, in the closing stages, his engine was starting to lose oil pressure.
While Clark is driving with no oil pressure on his gauge, Hill, storming up behind, breaks the lap record in his efforts to pass.
Eventually, the F1 circus arrived at the Nürburgring, a
He didn't
circuit
win that
where
race?
Clark had never won. Leading from pole, Clark finally broke his Nürburgring jinx, winning the race and with it, the Formula One world title.
Congrats again, dude.
So let's just sum up Clark's season of 1965. Of the 63 races he contested, he won a staggering 31 of them and was on the podium a further 8 times. He was now seen as the greatest racing driver of all time, in demand the world over. Yet this shy Scotsman chose to mark the year's achievements with a modest celebration at his hometown back in Scotland.
He won 50% of his races that year. Hometown hero, man. Hometown hero.
The next 2 years, by contrast, were a disaster, with multiple mechanical failures denying him another championship.
Damn. I'd be pissed.
However, in 1968, driving the Lotus 49, another game changer from Colin Chapman, Clark took the first win of the year in South Africa and looked set for another dominant season.
Do they still race in South Africa? I'm not sure if they do. I have to check.
And then on the weekend of April the 7th,
I mean, I would
Clark
think they
had
do,
a
unless
choice
they
of 2 races he could compete in. One at Brands Hatch, the other a Formula 2 race at Hockenheim. Fatefully, he entered the German race.
April the 7th is a bad day for me. He wasn't happy. It was freezing cold and damp, misty. We could not get any heat into the tyres. Couldn't get any temperature in them, no matter what we did. Jimmy said to me, "Father, I do not expect anything from me today. Just keep me informed with the pit board, where I am, how many laps to go."
Damn. And he still had to
That's the
race?
last thing he said.
What
On
if I
lap
just
5,
gonna end bad?
Clark's car suddenly speared off the track at 170 miles an hour.
Jim Clark, he's a god. And the first time I saw him, my God, I can't believe it. And you actually talking to him, it was awe-inspiring. Life is worth living. For me, it's tearful. I'm sorry.
According to the medical report, Clark died instantly of a broken neck.
Damn.
And the crash was later put down to a deflating tire. When he died, he was just 32.
Dang, bro. Before the race, he was saying he don't expect anything from me and all that. Like he already knew he was gonna have issues before the race even started. Just dang, bro, that sucks, man. That sucks because he knew. He just knew he was gonna have issues. He even said it, like he knew. Don't expect too much from me. And the end like that, the guy, damn, hell of a career he was having.
But in his short career, he had racked up some truly incredible achievements.
Just imagine if he didn't die,
In Formula
how
One, he won
much.
25 of his 73 races, which in percentage terms puts him way ahead of Hamilton, Vettel, and even Schumacher. In pole positions, he had 33, which again in percentage terms makes him second best of all time, just behind Fangio. Then there are the Grand Slams. That's where a driver gets pole position, fastest lap, the win, and leads every lap of the race. Schumacher has 5 Grand Slams to his name. Senna, 4. Jim Clark, 8. That's more than any other driver in history.
I've heard that name. Schumacher, however you say his name.
You might imagine that a man with such skills would be rated highly by other drivers. And you'd be right.
I was invited to a cocktail party for Fangio, and he said to me, in my opinion, Jimmy Clark was the greatest racing driver ever. And coming from Fangio, there's no better compliment than that.
In 1991, the reigning world champion made a special pilgrimage to the school to pay his respects. Of Clark, Senna said simply, he was my boyhood hero. He was the best of the best. And like Senna, Clark died when he was driving at his absolute peak.
That was it.
Most of what I was able to do in motor racing was done by the manner in which Jim Clark drove, and I just followed him.
He was a gentleman. He was a gentleman and a gentleman. It's a pity he's not around now, because it'd be nice to have him.
Dang, bro. Just hell of a career, especially in the 60s, going crazy. He had a hell of a career though, man. A hell of a career, it seemed like. Winning. I said earlier, he's a natural born winner. Dude was winning. 8 out of 11, 9 out of 11. He was winning half of his races. I think he won like 31 out of 63. That's like almost half of his races. Crazy. Dude's a winner. Like I said, dude's a natural born winner. Jim Clark, the best racing driver of all time. You guys don't get like and sub coming up, like guys thoughts and reactions. I'll see you guys later.